Right, we are hot to trot here at Aldebaran Park. Duncan McPherson, welcome back, my friend.
G'day, Paul. How are you? And I feel like welcome back. I've already, it's late morning and been up the farm and back already. So it's one of those big, long days, but that's okay. That's how we roll.
It is indeed. Andrew Fitzgerald, he can have the week off this week. I thought with the Redwood Carnival and so much more to talk about over here in Australia. The New Zealand trotting is going to be outstanding next week as well. But Fitzy's doing an enormous job. And if anyone wants to get in touch with him in New Zealand, his phone number, actually, I haven't got it on this one here, but get in touch with him and chase this stallion roster of yours up, mate.
Yeah, look, Andrew's doing a super job for us on the ground. We thought it was pertinent that we have a point of contact over there. And, all things being equal, we're getting enough bookings and keeping things moving and actually looking forward to getting across to New Zealand for Cup Week myself. So if anyone's got any queries in New Zealand, please come and see me in Christchurch on Cup Day, and we'll make sure we look after you and follow things through from there for both Aldebaran Eagle and for Dancing in the Dark.
Yep, we've got a great stallion roster with Dancing in the Dark, Em, and we're going to highlight a couple of those horses in a minute, at 4,400. We've also got Sky Valley for the Australians, only available in Australia, unfortunately, for the Kiwis, and just continues to do a magic job. Sky Valley leaving winners all the time. And then Frozen Seaman only for the New Zealand viewers with Aldebaran Eagle. And we're going to touch on him in a minute, and we'll recap on those service fees in a minute, Dunk. Don't worry,
yeah,
I'm not just skimming over those. We're going to start off, though, with Aldebaran Eagle and the job that he continues to do. Hopefully, a lot of the Kiwis got to see the Tatlow, a time-honoured Tatlow the other day. There's that Bonnie Wee filly in front. She's only been beaten once, and I think there was mitigating circumstances why she got beat. But, she's a lovely filly, this Dunk, with so much upside, isn't she?
She's not a wee Bonnie filly. She's actually quite an imposing filly when you get up next to her. She's something quite special, and to obviously the people that have got her, she's one out of the box, and there's no doubt that what she did the other night, and she's already gone 57.5, and as you said correctly, the only time she's been beaten was when they had 3 false starts in the Vic Bred final, and as was quoted by Nathan Jack, she just did it on her own and slowed down to her own speed and comfortably got home in 28 up the last quarter. So looking forward to her continuing on. Obviously, Mark Hughes bred her down in Cranbourne, and the boys that have got her, and the fun that they had and the smiles they had on their faces the other night said everything. And there's no doubt that she's got a good chance to go through. She's in the Redwood on Sunday, Aldebaran Park Redwood, and she's obviously going to be in the Breeders' Crown. So, as you said, 5 from 6 and doing the job. And these are the fillies and the young horses, such as Kiang Sahara and others that are unbeaten. And these are the ones we should be celebrating and making sure that we go and watch them, because they're all by wonderful size. Volstead's doing a super job, as is Aldebaran Eagle, and they are all new, basically newish stallions to our breeding scene down here over the last 3 or 4 years, as is Dancing in the Dark, and there's no doubt that the genetic improvement is astounding. So well done to everybody, and obviously for the support, and to see that filly go around, it makes us very proud in a lot of ways to have gone the journey with Aldebaran Eagle, and bought him as a yearling, raced him in America, brought him down here, and regrettably he got very ill. We kept him alive for enough time to get 3 crops on the ground, and we collected semen, and as you quite rightly pointed out, Frozen Seaman's available in New Zealand this season.
And it's a magic opportunity for the New Zealanders who, a lot of them wouldn't be aware of him, rocking with Attitude, Dave Miles last week. But there's so many others of them hitting the ground. And the fillies, I think you want a filly. The job that he does, I don't think you don't want a colt, don't get me wrong, but geez, he can throw a filly, can't he?
Yeah, he's done a super job, and I think you alluded last week, Dichotomy's another filly. She's gone over the 100,000. Aldebaran Jensen up in New South Wales with Robbie Morris, he's in the 90s. There's a plethora of others. Aldebaran Styles is over in Adelaide, he's in the Trotters Cup this week. And there are other progeny that have done the job. And we're looking forward to, looking after the people in New Zealand and ensuring that they can breed to, obviously, a horse that's just stamping himself with his progeny over here. And in New Zealand, he's had 5 starters, 4 winners. So he's got an 80% win to start record in New Zealand, which is an outstanding outcome for a low patronised stallion. But he's over there, and Andrew Fitzgerald's ready to take the phone, and we've just dispersed some semen this morning from equibreed. We batched another few serves down to another stud farm to a holding location. So we've basically got his semen available from top to bottom of New Zealand at the various veterinary clinics, and Andrew knows where they all are, and we're here to help you.
Yep, and think outside the square a little bit, Duncan. 2 and 3 years' time, the Australians are going to be wanting Aldebaran Eagles. Won't be able to buy them, won't be able to breed them, won't be able to buy them. The NZB yearling sales might be the only opportunity the Aussies get to be able to get one of these horses if they can't breed in New Zealand. So it is a magic opportunity if you are a commercial breeder for a horse that may not have been on anyone's radar and at a valued price of, is it 3,400, including GST in New Zealand. So it's a unique opportunity. And by this time, imagine a couple more years with Rocking with Attitude, Gatesy's Gem, they're going to be jumping out of trees wanting to buy them.
I can put hand on heart and say I fielded 6 inquiries on Saturday night after Gatesy's Gem won the Tatlow on the back of Rocking with Attitude the week before. And they were all from Victorian breeders who have obviously seen that they probably should have got in a bit earlier. But what you've just said is exactly right. He is available in New Zealand. And if there's some people over there that want to put good mares to him, I'm sure that that progeny, particularly the fillies, will be well sought after. And if I can say openly, if they're well bred, I often frequent I do go to the yearling sales in New Zealand, and it would be a wry of me not to suggest that if it was a well-bred Aldebaran Eagle, I wouldn't be looking at it. So I know how good he was as a horse, and we know at the farm what his temperament was like and what he went through as an animal. If he's the way the progeny that he's produced and the way that they're going is a testament to his willingness, if you like, to survive, in inverted commas, and his will to win and will to live is being reflected in the results that the progeny are achieving on the track over here now.
No, absolutely. We'll touch on the other two boys in a second, and I'll also put Gerald's phone number up underneath, so get in touch with Fitzy in relation to that and going from there. It is one of the most amazing meetings for a trotting fields we've seen. I'm going to say headed up by the Aldebaran Park Redwood Classic, but as a trotting lover, Duncan, this is just a magic meeting. Redwood Day on Sunday. As a sponsor, these are the sorts of days you want to be a part of, and all the big trotting studs are involved in it. But of course, you guys are the main sponsor for the Group 1 Aldebaran Park Redwood, and this is a cracking field, and it's a real cracker now with the barrier draws have made it a little bit precarious for a couple of the horses.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Redwoods, we all know the prestige and the mystique the Redwood holds. It is a stand, and we know that it's a test of the 2-year-olds and their temperaments, where the start is at the top of the straight, and there's obviously a bit of crowd noise and a whole lot of things they're not used to at that location. And you've got to trot. It's pretty simple, and invariably the winner is that's trotted away and got itself in a good position at the start, and I'm sure it'll be no different this year. The quality of the 2-year-olds is absolutely outstanding. A lot of them went round, or quite a few of them went round in the Tatlow last week. And when you look at the varying range, not only of the trainers but also the drivers, but also the progeny and where they've come from, it's a testament to the new stallions and the new boys on the block, as far as I'm concerned. And we should be lauding it and celebrating it, and it's just going to be a wonderful race. Noting that there's only one New Zealand bred horse there, and we'll lay claim to that because Carlton came out of Another Love, and Another Love is Aldebaran Keeper's mother, Aldebaran Another Love's the only one to have left 2 Oaks winners on both sides of the Tasman. So Carlton, I'll give him a plug. He's standing in New Zealand, and Carla Pixie's over here, and we wish the connections of Carla Pixie, but also the stud in New Zealand that are standing, something that we've had a close allegiance with too over the journey.
I can say Greg Hope is pretty keen on him, because I reckon he's got 4 generations coming through. That was your phone, not mine. That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. It's off now.
No, you're fine. I was looking at mine. I was thinking it was mine. It's a cracking field, this, Duncan. You've got to look at another computer, so don't stress. I'm not going to take it down so you get the side view. What I love about this whole program here at Maryborough, the embracing of the young, if you like, coming through. It goes 3-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old. You've got the Matchmaker Mile, you've got the Group 3 Maryborough Trotters Cup, and then we've also got the Derby. This is what I'm saying about the trotters and putting them on show, and putting on great fields of horses.
I was talking to. I've obviously had a lot of conversation with Maryborough over the journey, and it's pretty well known that it's been slightly revamped, the carnival, and credit to the team and the committee at Maryborough. But I was also talking to HRV, and they had 127 trotting nominations for this race meeting. And to think that on top of all the other races that we've got this week, I think there's a 2-year-old trot on Monday at Warragul. But to have 127 noms for an all trotting day, I think is an outstanding result on top of the Friday that they've already got there. And I think it reflects the growth of the trotter, and that's something that quite a few of us here have been promoting. And I think that the fields that you've got here and the races and the quality of the animals and the horses that are going around is going to be reflective of what a wonderful effort everybody's pushed for in Victoria, and Maryborough, the home of the trotter, and it definitely will be on Sunday. So, not only should people watch it, but I'd encourage people to get trackside, because when you've got Kiang Zahara, you've got, we've just touched on the 2-year-old filly, Gatesy's Gem, and then you've got Just Believe there. You've got some of the best horses in Australia and best trotters in Australasia there on the weekend, and that's what this show's all about. So, get trackside and see what's going on.
Yeah, we've got the Bendigo Trotters Cup on there. The Maryborough Trotters Cup, sorry about that. On their cracking field, headed up by Just Believe, but with Queen Elida, RC Phoenix, Harry Stamper, Parisian Artiste. All of those are Group 1 winners. Mufasa Metro, I think, is a Group 1 winner as well.
Yeah, he won the Cranbourne Trotters Cup, so he's in there too. Yep.
Nephew of Sunoco and Aldebaran Vera. Now, Nephew of Sunoco very well could have, and I may have missed it. And I think Aldebaran Vera might be the only one that hasn't won a Group 1 out of that lot. Like, that's just an amazing field of horses. You've got the Victorian, the Harasta Trotters, Victorian Trotters Derby, as you said there, with Kiang Zahara inside the second line. Again, barrier draws make it really interesting. But some horses like Loxley Cavalier, I've had so many smart trotting people tell me how good this horse is, and he's just struggling to get in the winner's circle for no fault of his own. He's chasing some bloody nice horses. That's the depth in these fields, isn't it?
Yeah, and you got fillies. I mean, Gatesy's Gem's gone 57, and I think Kiang Zahara's gone 56. So you've got trotting genetics now and speed that we haven't had before. And I mean, I know the Derby's is a slightly longer or normal trip, but it's definitely going to sort out, who's who in the zoo as far as the juvenile ranks are concerned. And in a lot of ways, this is, one of the grand finals, if you like, and with the next one obviously being Breeders' Crown coming up in a few weeks' time. So it's just very exciting to watch these trotters. There's no single domination by size. There's no single domination by stables. And I think that is the beauty of what this particular Redwood Carnival, and particularly Sunday, is all about. There's an opportunity for everybody. And if the genetics are right and the horses are good enough, they're going to make it, aren't they?
Yep. Well, I don't do tips, Duncan, but I'm going to tip a horse. Race 2, a horse called Old Dominion by Sky Valley. Xavier O'Connor knocking on the door to win a race. It's a lovely filly. Lovely gelding, actually, sorry. Goes absolutely terrific. Very, very, very well named, actually. So it turns out if you like your country and western, it's a well-named horse, but it's also Old Dominion is actually a valley in, I forget where the horse comes out of. I should have backed myself up with this, Virginia. So it's Virginia, yeah. And it's a valley in Virginia.
Out of Virginia connection, yes. Well, it's ironic. I was up the farm this morning, and we did a couple of collections for Dancing in the Dark, but Sky Valley was there, and for the age that he is, but to then still continue to produce 2-year-old winners, and hopefully Old Dominion does get there for Sky Valley and the farm, and obviously the O'Connors on Sunday. But look, he's bumping around like as if he's a bloody 10-year-old, to be brutally honest. And it was just a joy to see him, and obviously we're very proud of him. And he's been the affordable colonial stallion. I think he's number 1 9 or 10 times in his stallion career now, and we've left his price at a commercial arrangement for people and multiple mare discounts. We got a multiple mare booking for him yesterday, and people are enjoying 20% off $2,000 for a horse that's had progeny that's won over 6. So I'll go he for Tiggy if he doesn't keep doing a good job. And I'll just encourage people, if you don't think that you can breed this year, then you should be considering Sky Valley as the most affordable stallion in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, and does an enormous job. And so what'd you say, 20% off?
20% off for multiple mare bookings. So that lowers his service fee to $1,600. So
So 3,200 if you breed 2 horses. So
yeah. So you're going to get a result somewhere. So we, as I say, we took a multiple mare booking yesterday, and we've got no issue with it, and we look forward to supporting the industry. Having said that, we've also offered his services to Swan Hill and to Cranbourne, and we actually got a phone call, and we're going to Gunbower. So part of the breeding initiative by HBV and some of the clubs is to offer a trotting bred stallion service and a pacing bred stallion service, and some of the clubs have rung Aldebaran Park, and we're more than happy to assist and provide Sky Valley as an option for any one of the prize draws on any of those particular race days. So Gunbower took the initiative. Look forward to going there on the 8th of December. They rang me, and so Sky Valley is around, and we're happy to assist the industry in these sorts of initiatives.
It's a great club over there. New Zealand, Dunk, we're just going to touch on a couple of these races. This is the Hambletonian on Monday at Ashburton, 3-year-old trotters. The rise of the trotter is definitely coming. When you see this field here, and a lot of Australians may not know some of these horses, but horses like Empire City is sensational. Don't worry about the 6th. She unfortunately stood on a back shoe in the Dancing in the Dark M, actually, if the Southern Oaks.
Southern Oaks, yep.
The other day, she stood on a back shoe, which is unfortunate. But Father Time, jockling, Freya goes terrific. There's a horse in there, Matt Markham tells me, Tyrone Eros is actually something special as well. So that's a cracking field. That's on Princess Sadie, actually won the Dancing in the Dark M as well. And then we also have the other trot race. Here it is there, the What the Hill Ashburton Trotters Sprint. And again, so this is in the space of 2 days. For the trotting purists, this is in the space of 2 days. I'll just go down a little bit. Bet and Win Confessional, Midnight Dash, Highgrove, great horse, Oscar Bonavina, Muscle Mountain, Mr. Love, Fiery Bandito, Love in the Port, right through. That's another cracking field that's going to shape the Dominion in a few weeks. But Duncan, the reason I'm showcasing these, the trotters are getting so big in New Zealand. We want people to be breeding these horses and be a part of what's expanding, and what, before people know it, is just going to explode.
Well, I think that the juvenile race that you just exemplified there at Ashburton, and then along with the mature age, I mean, they're all quality horses. They're all by different stallions. So you've got an opportunity to produce good horses. There's no single sire domination. And the numbers are growing and growing. And I've always said the future is in the trotter. It's the global breed, and the rest of the world is watching us. And when we can market those races, the ones that, picking the 3 highlighted races at the Redwood and those 2 races there, if you put those back to back on any trotting program and then showed that to the world and showcased the breed and the animal and the performances, we're hard pressed to get anything better down in the Southern Hemisphere. And you've got a full, I'll go to, you've got the Trotters Cup in Adelaide this weekend. You've got a flying mile with a golden ticket at Menangle with another full field of trotters. I mean, it's just the trotters are exploding from one end of the place to the other. So you've got New South Wales, South Australia, Victoria over the weekend, and then obviously you've got New Zealand on Monday. So, everyone knows I love the trotter, but the trotters are doing it on the track now. So mission accomplished. Let's look forward to the future.
Yep, and Dancing in the Dark M, of course, he is available both in Australia and in New Zealand. Foals are hitting the ground. Dunk, you must be excited about this. You said you've got a couple at the farm. This is one from Arden Lodge. This is, what's she out of? The Redley.
Surf and Sensation down at, and she's been foaled down at Macca Lodge for Arden Lodge for John Scriven. So, no, they're very happy. They posted this on social media. We heard from New Zealand that the filly was up and about, and she definitely looks like that in the photo. And then I went and had a look at, we've got 3 or 4 on the ground. The most recent out of Wanna Be a Maori, which is a very famous family, and the filly this morning. They're all similar colour. They all are up and prancing about, and Danny and Melinda at the farm have done a great job foaling down so far, and we've got a few more to arrive. And then obviously, being up there, we collected the stallion this morning for export to New Zealand. And then the other thing we did was we looked at all our yearlings, and we've got quite a cluster of yearlings by him to go to the yearling to the nutrient sale over here in April. And there's some very, very well-bred fillies up there, and their winter coats are gone and they've cleaned up beautifully. So we're looking forward to the next 3 or 4 months of yearling prep and, getting ready for the sales.
Yeah, I just got that. And we need people to be aware that, like with Dancing in the Dark, Emmy, he is available on both sides of the ditch.
Yeah.
Sky Valley is only in Australia, not Victoria, but Australia, and then the other bloke, Aldebaran Eagle, only in New Zealand. I just got this field up, Duncan. Glad you highlighted that. I sort of checked most of these things out. This is a cracking field, isn't it? And this is a golden ticket into the Inter-Dominion. Again, you're headed back up there with Zeus, but there's no easy pickings for any trotter in Australia anymore, is there?
No, and again, you've got Funky Monkey who's gone 54. You've got Jensen who's gone 57. Tough Love was a recent winner up there and goes very well. Sunny G's been around for a while. The Fair to Cover can fly.
Yep.
And so can One Magic Kenny, Toro Strut. And Super Service has gone up there and done a super job. So, again, it's a quality free for all. It's an attractive field, and we from our point of view, Zeus was up there recently and went 53-2, and we think he's a cracking miler, and the opportunity was there to go back up and achieve a golden ticket, but post another good stallion time against his resume for him when he heads to stud. So, we're hoping and looking forward to him posting a number of 53s, and if not a 52, he's gone 52-6. So we're in that zone where we're pretty keen for him to keep running high 52s and 53s, and the opportunity gets to go quicker, who knows? But Maori Time's got her 151.5 mile. That's stood the test of time, and obviously she's in foal at Aldebaran Park to Calgary Games with a fourth dimension colt at foot, who we've now weaned, and he's in the Colts weanling or yearling paddock, if you like. But look, it's again, we're looking forward to another 50, a good night in Menangle, and a 53 up there if we can get there.
Yep. It's exciting time for trotters. There's a full-on Memorial Day. Well done to Maryborough on Friday, and all trotting day as well. There is a plethora of trotters everywhere. South Australia's fields aren't out yet, so we can't show you to those. I love some of the names on Friday. I must say, I can actually whack them up because I've got them sitting there. But people that I do know a little about, John Ashby, I knew about. Max Leach, unfortunately, I didn't. John Walters. Chris Howe, a name synonymous with the trotters. Of course, the Chris Howe Trotters Cup is the Geelong race. Is that, am I right there?
Yep.
The Gladys Elf and Gladys Leach, the Colin and Dot Redwood, the Alistair McLean, well done to the club for honouring Alistair, who unfortunately just passed. Keith and Elaine Angus, Ralph Ford, one of the legends of the sport, and as too is Alf Simon. So terrific name. We're not going to showcase all the races, but just some great trotting names there. And on Sunday, hats off to him as well with the Valet Dick Lee Memorial, and that is a 2-year-old race because Dick was one of the driving forces behind the Redwood and also the whole Redwood Carnival. So I think they're doing a magic job, Maryborough. Well done to them for changing things up, because a lot of those races would have been on the Sunday, whereas what they've done is Friday will be Memorial Day, and then Sunday is just going to showcase the trotter, and I think it's outstanding and it's so super exciting.
Well, we thought when we talked about revamping it up there, we tried to come up with a theme. And so obviously the Sunday before is the Derby Heats when they race up at Maryborough. And we thought that rather than have a couple of memorial races spread across the 3 days, we thought it would be more appropriate to celebrate the industry and celebrate the contribution of the people around the industry and have a pure Memorial Day. So it aggregates the families, it aggregates memories, and it aggregates a day of significance to the industry. So I think that it's a great concept. I don't know anywhere else. I don't know that there's another race meeting where it's a total memorial celebration day of people that have contributed in their past. And I think that, as you said, Sunday sits there and it does its own thing, but to obviously acknowledge the contribution of Dick Lee with that 2-year-old race, how appropriate is it? And well done to Maryborough right through the entire concept of what they're doing. They got a dinner dance Saturday night, sold out, full. The catering, I spoke to them yesterday. They had 80 on the terrace. That's full. The dining room inside, a couple of people have rung up today. It's full. So not that it's full, that doesn't mean don't come. It means that A, they've done their job, and B, there's plenty of other food vans and food trucks and other opportunities for food and pleasure up there on Sunday. And the weather looks as though it's going to be a cracking day. So all roads lead to Maryborough this Sunday.
No, absolutely. Very well said. And I think it's exciting. There's going to be such a cracking meeting. They've changed the dates. They've revamped. They are thinking outside the square. And I must say, interviewed Jackson Barbie the other day. what a magnificent young man he is for our industry. So positive, and he spoke so many times, Duncan. One thing he doubled down on was industry, and this is an industry race meeting. We've got to get behind it, celebrate it, and enjoy it. Duncan, thank you very much. Aldebaran Park, Stallion Ross, as I said, Dancing in the Dark M, standing for $4,400, including GST in New Zealand. No, is that right? In Australia, $4,400.
4 in Australia, 4.6 in New Zealand.
Yep. Sky Valley will be standing for $2,000, and Aldebaran Eagle only available in New Zealand through Frozen Seaman at $3,400, and you pay on live file, which, like Andrew said last week, that's also another great added advantage. So you can get your horse in foal this year. Things are up in New Zealand, and I encourage people to get behind the trotters because, I hear that betting turnover is up again. So it's an exciting place to get involved and to get a stallion like him. And realistically, Dunk, it's a unique position for them because they're actually going to be the only people that can breed them. So they're going to be the only ones that can sell them. So it's a pretty unique opportunity for them.
Yeah, and I think given his limited opportunities, I think his progeny have already won over $1 million. So to get an opportunity like this in New Zealand, which is totally centralised in New Zealand, and then obviously breeding demand and yearling demand, as you said earlier, futuristically down the track in a couple of years' time, why wouldn't you? So anyway, he does the job. He's continuing to do the job, and we look forward to more celebrations in Australia and hopefully a celebration on Sunday when his progeny may win, have an opportunity to win the Redwood and the Trotters Cup in Adelaide, and who knows where else we might pop up a winner. So we're all the best, and we're looking forward to a fantastic week of trotting ahead. And as we say at Aldebaran Park, we're hot to trot and fresh as best.
Absolutely, and the Aldebaran Park Hot to Trot show will change all the time. We might get Fitzy on next week, but we could also record it Sunday. We might record it Sunday from Maryborough with so many things happening. So we'll keep evolving it. But please get in touch with the team at Aldebaran Park. Duncan, the guys at the farm, Andrew Fitzgerald in New Zealand. I'll put all those banners up over the top so you can get in touch with them. There's no excuse. Dunk, thank you very much, mate. And as you said, hot to trot at Aldebaran Park.
See you at Maryborough. Regards to everybody.